How do you get your webcam to look this good? I'm going to show you next. First thing is, stop using your built-in laptop camera. It's probably garbage. Although this one's not horrible, I've seen way worse. This one's on the MacBook M2. Probably the best you can get on a laptop, but again, still not the best. This is actually a $200 webcam, a serious upgrade to the laptop camera, but we can still make it better. Almost any good webcam will come with its own software where you can manually adjust the settings. You don't want to leave it to auto, you want to do this yourself. So make sure you download that and the latest firmware for your webcam. In this example, I'll be using the Logitech Ultra, which is a 4K camera, around $200 on Amazon. It's probably one of my favorite webcams. But there's lots of manufacturers that make really good webcams too, like Jabra, HP Poly, Logitech. All those are really, really good. A lot of times out of the box, your webcam will have a 90-degree field of view. This is too big for a Zoom meeting, so you want to shrink that down. Let's go to 65. I did a video on rules of thirds. Remember, you want your eye level at the top 2/3 level of your camera. You do not want your head in the middle, and definitely you don't want it low. Have it at 2/3. And a lot of times there's a zoom feature on your webcam where you can make this happen, so adjust accordingly. Most default cameras are set to auto exposure, but if you're in the same place all the time in your office, you'll want to manually adjust this so it looks good. But if you're on the road and traveling in an airport or an office, just set this to auto exposure and don't think about it. But since you're in your office all the time, you'll want to refine this setting as good as possible. So I typically set my shutter speed at 1/24, or 24 frames per second. This gives the best cinematic feel for a Zoom meeting. If there's lots of motion in your shot, you'll want to increase the shutter speed, but typically there's not a lot of motion when you're in a Zoom meeting or a Teams meeting. It's just you with maybe some hand movements. So 124 works for me. ISO setting is the sensitivity to light, and the lower you have it, the darker your image, the higher you have it, the lighter your image. But you can offset this darkness with lights, obviously, from your key light or your ring light or your backfill light. So I typically have my ISO as low as possible and my lights as bright as possible. It gives the best overall picture to me. Like right now, I have my ISO set at 300. I really don't like to go higher than that. If I need to go higher than that, I need to bump up the brightness of my lights to compensate for the darkness. It's a better cinematic feel. If you have a camera that has HDR, please definitely use it. I like to use this because it adds some richness to my contrast and my colors. Again, most cameras out of the box have auto white balance. I don't like to use auto white balance. Again, if you're on the road and you can't mess with the colors around you or the lighting around you, just throw this on. But if you're in your office and with a set amount of light all the time, you definitely want to refine this to match your needs. So there's no perfect value for this. It really depends on the lighting in your environment. So just play with these until you get it perfect. I typically don't play with these at all. I like to get my lighting and my contrast and my ISO perfect. That way I don't have to mess with these at all. I typically run my lights at 5200 Kelvin, which to me is the closest to daylight. So I just match my temperature accordingly on my camera. I don't typically change the brightness at all either because I adjust the brightness with my lights, not with my digital camera. Again, contrast, I don't mess with. I'd rather adjust my lights than my contrast on my webcam settings. Saturation is more about color. So you want to adjust the saturation to match their color hue. Sometimes my face is a little red and I'll bump down the saturation so it looks more natural. Other than that, just play with it to match your own color situation. Vibrance lets you adjust the intensity of the color. It's a little bit more subtle than saturation, so make sure to match it to your skin tones that look best on camera. Sharpness allows you to adjust softness of the image. So the less sharpness you have, the softer the image, the more defined the image. But sometimes if you go too high, you can add some noise to the image. So be careful with this one. Again, most cameras probably come with autofocus on, but if you're in a Zoom meeting, you're probably stationary or in the same position. So this is probably okay. Next, see, everything's in focus in my camera, so not only am I in focus, but the background's in focus. This can be okay sometimes, but I like to add a little cinematography. There's a setting called Baroque. It adds some blurriness to the image. By default, your camera won't have that, but if you're running on an Apple, you have it built in. Watch this. On your Mac, you're going to have a little icon at the top of your menu bar. Looks like a little monitor with a person on it. Click on it, we'll go to the settings there. Obviously, I'm in a Zoom meeting, but if you're in a Teams or WebEx or Ring Central meeting, it'll have that application on top. Obviously, click on the application you're using and then go to the settings down below. The first one's portrait and probably the most important one. This one can add some blurriness to the screen. So let's click on it and adjust it. When you click on it, there's a minimum amount of blurriness, and that works a little bit. You can still see all the words and stuff on the books. So adjust the slider so it looks really cool. I like to adjust it to about 1/3. I don't know the actual focal number because it doesn't display it, but it adds some cool blurriness effects. The higher you go, the more artifacts it adds. So let's just flip it to the right and see what happens. You can see now it's a little distorted. It looks a little fake. It's actually too blurry on the edges. This is why I don't use it. put it back to a third. Studio light actually darkens the surrounding area and puts the light on your face. It's somewhat cool. Use it if you like it. Here's what it looks like for me. It changes some of the color, but it adds more focus to my face, which might be good for you in a Zoom meeting or a Teams meeting. So this is what my $200 camera looks like with all the settings configured. It looks pretty good. Just for comparison, let's see what it looks like next to a DSLR camera with a high quality lens and a high quality camera. So this is my DSLR camera. It's an EOS RP with a 35 milliliter lens running at f1.8. So none of those settings that I showed you with the webcam are on this camera. This is a naturally blurry Baroque image with just the lens. So those are some simple ways you can make your webcam look even better. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, follow me on LinkedIn, or better yet, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm Patrick Kelley, the Tattooed Nerd. Have a great day.